I've been drawing trend line for over 5 years, and let me tell you, most traders are still drawing them wrong. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how I draw perfect trend lines, and the same way I've been doing it to spot high probability trade. But of course, I'm going to give you live examples, the trades that I've taken based on trend line. So let's get into it. When drawing your trend lines, you really need to be careful. There are some certain things that you should cater for, because if you miss on something, then the market will keep burning. I've seen most people just throwing in their trend line, something like this, but really and truly, this is the worst mistake that you can ever make, on trading a forex market. Now, for instance, let me just I'm going to give you, like I say, I'm just going to give you examples on my trades that I took based on trend line and how they played out, right? So let me just give you a scenario, yeah? So when drawing your trend line, I'll just have this as an illustration. We see price, for instance, going up, coming down, up, coming down, and really and truly, yeah, drawing your trend line or trading based on trend line is always the easiest strategy for you guys, right? So like I say, I've seen most people drawing their trend line just like this, right? But my recommendation is, for instance, if this was a week, let's just call this, or have this something like this, something like this. If you see we had weeks, something like this, never ignore those weeks, because I've been preaching, once you see price giving you weeks, don't ignore, because why will price give you weeks, right? Now, when you are drawing a trend line, for instance, I'm at the H4, when you see price giving you these weeks, that is not just a week, because if you go to lower time frame, maybe 15 minutes or even 1 hour, you will see that these were just fully bodied candlestick, right? So there's no reason for you to ignore those weeks. That's why when drawing your trend line, make sure your trend line passes through those weeks too, something like this, because price never makes mistake. The market is always right, we are the people who are always wrong, something like that, right? So once you have this, then now that is when you start looking for your end property. For instance, let me just give you a scenario right here. All right, over here we have a week, correct? So let's say over here, of course, we had a week, and then you're drawing your trend line something like this, trying to force your trend line, having them maybe around that. So this is a mistake, right? This is a mistake, because for instance, let's just rewind this market. Let's rewind that market right there. Now, for instance, if you drew your trend line just like this, then you start looking for your end, then the market still continues dropping, because why? You never had these weeks catered for, right? Now, like I said before, I'm going to give you examples how I draw my trend line and give you live example. I'm starting with the Euro GBP, and right here, let's have this right here. This was on let's try to zoom on July 11th. That is when I did take the trade, July 11th. So this was on June. So let's just take it back to July 11th. July 11th. Just a minute. Let's just have it right there. Yeah. So yeah, I think I should take it back right here. Correct. I think, yeah, we had this is July 11th right there. Now, when you look at this market, really, I said look for the last two touches. You can have it, you can start from this right there, right? Because we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, something like this. And my advice is, usually once you have your trend line, try to zoom in all the way and make sure that you cater for every candlestick. Like I say, make sure it's the week is catered for, something like this. Now you see we've missed that right there, we've missed that, and have it around that level, right? So my anticipation always, you can wait for the third touch. Make sure the market hits your third touch right there before look for your entry. At the same time, we have you can mark out the previous levels, something like this. Now once you see price touching those levels, maybe then that's where you should be looking for your entry. In essence, yeah, the moment you have your trend line based on these touches, 1, 2, then of course you're waiting for your third touch. Now once you see price playing around your key levels, that is where you should now start looking for your entry position, right? So if you are making your entry based on maybe engulfing candlestick, that is where you should start looking for your engulfing candlestick. And once you see price giving you your entry position, then just take in your entry and let the market go all the way up, right? And then you see price respecting and going all the way up, something like that. then comes back, respect right there, respect your trend line. And if you like, let's just have it. In fact, let me see H1. You can have it right there. Boom. Let's see. And then the market goes all the way up. Let's just see if I wanted to have this position, I can have it right there. Have my stop loss below new low, right? Now, one thing about trend line, I do advise when making your stop loss, make sure they are below new low, swing low or swing high. If you like, you can target at least 3%, whichever. Let's just see. 3%, you know, and let the market do its thing. But yeah, for instance, let me just show you. I did take that on July, where is this, on July 11th. I had my entry after that candlestick. Let me just zoom in. That was over here. I think that was right there. Once we had that candlestick breaking, boom, I think I had my entry right there. And like I said before, have your stop loss below a swing low or a swing high, because right now we are trading based on trend line. The reason why I do recommend you have your stop loss below or above a swing high is because once price breaks out or once price hits your stop loss, for instance, if I have my stop loss right here, then the market does this, comes back and stop me out, then that just tells me that, you know, the market is just trying to change direction. Because why will, you know, price comes and break out of a swing low, something like this. I had my stop loss right here, then you see price goes up, comes back and stop me out. That just tells you that, you know, the market is reversing. So that's why I, you know, never care about my entry, my stop loss. Once I'm in a trade, let's let the market do its thing until take profit. It's either the market stops me out or hit my take profit, right? So yeah, you let the market do its thing. Don't care about the pullbacks, because basically my stop loss is very secure, you know, at a very good zone. So at the end of it, you let the market do its thing, and once price decides, it will definitely hit your take profit, right? You can wait for another one, wait for a pullback once again, and once you catch your entry, for instance, I said, yeah, we caught our entry right there, boom, then let the market do its thing, and blah 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 blah. Let the market continue doing its thing, and blah 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 blah, you know. Yeah. You never care about pullbacks, because that is what price will always do, right? So that is just one example. There was also another example that I did take, that was based on odd card. So real quick, I'm going to show you odd card. Where are you? Odd card. Right here. Once again, this was a trade I took. I can help you to zoom. This was based on July 23. You know, the market did hit take profit basically. So let's just take it back to July 23rd. Let's go to the daily time frame. Right here, very simple. July 23rd, I believe that was around this level right there. So if you like, you can have it. Let's just start right there and start our trend line, right? Like I said before, you start from the last two. We had this zone right there. So we had our first touch, second touch, and yes, remember to zoom in all the way in to make sure you catered for everything right there. Make sure you cater for those wicks, not just the body, something like this, right? So once you have it right there, yes, I know we have a break. That doesn't mean a thing. The market will only change its direction the moment it takes out that low, because this is the last low, right? We had a high low, high. Now this is the new low, right? So if you see, for instance, if price came back all the way and just broke out of that low, then that will just tell you that the market is changing direction. But then the market never took out this low. All you see is price just came back, created a new low, and now went up, you know, starting to do its thing. For instance, you can have your early entry over here. Let me just see. You can have your early entry. Let's just see. Boom. Let's see. Not yet. Right there, you can have your early entry right here, something like this, and then have your stop loss, because maybe lower new low. Like I say, have your stop loss below a swing low or above a swing high. That means if price decides to come back and stop you out, then that's a good stop loss. I call it a beautiful stop loss, because that means just the market is trying to change direction, and as usual target 3%, right? So this is all I mean, right? If you see this market for instance goes up then stops me out, that's a very, very beautiful stop loss, and we don't kill ourselves. Then boom boom boom, you let the market do its thing, blah blah blah. I don't care about stop loss, pullbacks. Then boom, okay, not yet hit our take profit, boom, the market just hit our take profit, right? So yeah, let me just show you where I did take that entry. I think I took it right here, and then of course now we had a new high and then new low. So stop loss below, you guys can see right there, that is where our stop loss was, and then target 3% as usual, and let the market do its thing. That is more than 3. Now you see this was 3.08, right? And I think my stop loss was right there, so should be 3%. Let's just probably around that level, you know. But you guys can see the numbers, the figures right here. The entry was 89.33. But let me not just waste your time. Let me give you more examples taken based on Trendline. This was a gold trade. I can also give this as a last example, so let me just get rid of this last example. So this is why I do recommend Trendline, even if you're trading ICT or the SMC, whichever strategy, just try to incorporate your Trendline. Then trading will be very simple. I remember well, this was over 1,000 pips right there, and as usual you see I say look for the last two, high, high low, high, high low, then look for your entry. As simple as that, right? So over here you can have your trend line passing from first touch, second touch, boom, right there. And remember to zoom in to make sure you've catered for everything. And yeah, like I said before, yes, you can have your break, but then that doesn't mean that the market is changing direction until price takes out this level right there. So let's see what price was doing at the H1. Now the moment you guys are trading based on trend line, you can try to back test and look for price reaction around the trend line. And once you see the market once you notice a pattern that the market is printing, then I think you should trade based on that, right? I'm just giving you a way to draw a trend line, and then the next thing is just try to figure out a pattern that the market usually forms before going up or before dropping. So that is where I think I did take gold trade right there. You guys can see right there. And like I said before, once you are trading based on trend line, then you have your stop loss below a swing low or a swing high. You see where my stop loss is. Don't care about the pullbacks, don't care about what price will do, because you see over here, you see. Now let me just rewind this right there. The reason why I do recommend having your stop loss below a swing low or having it above a swing high. So this is not a swing low right here. This is not a swing low. H4, let's just take it to the H4 low is this level right there. So if you had your stop loss right there, then that is when you see the market stopping you out. So you'd be like, yo, why is the market stopping me out and I have a good trend line? That is not the right way to have your stop loss. So you see price goes up, continue coming back, and then this is why I also don't trail my stop loss, because like I said before, where I place my stop loss is always a swing low or above a swing high. So like I say, let the market do its thing. No matter what happens, boom, the market just hit take profit. Those are just and many more examples based on trend line, right? There are so many. I have GBP USD, I have AUD CHF, there are so many. I have GBP CHF, GBP CHF, there are so many. I don't know. This is more than 10 minutes, but then let me just give you a last example. That was GBP CHF. I can give you last example right here. There are so many, guys. This is why I do like trading trendline, even though people in the internet just like bashing trendline. That is not how it is. Whatever works for you, as long as it works for you, just do it, right? GBP CHF. Oh, right here. I did take it. Oh, let's just. Okay. Right there. So yeah, I remember we had this. Okay, right there, correct. So yeah, right here you see the market was giving us another trend. Right there we had a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, you know. So that's amazing. So the next thing, if you like, you're gonna have your trend line passing from the last two. We had this 1 2 right there, and like I said before, understand what price is doing basically. So another trend, if you like, you can have it right there to make sure they're just, you know, continuation, whatever pattern you see. And then now you see this is also another thing, we had an impulse phase correction. So that just tells you that the market is creating another new trend right here, right? So when taking my entry, I'm not going to have my stop loss right here because the market just created a new trend, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this was a new lower high, and that is where I did take my entry right there. My stop loss above right there, above our new swing low, swing high. Then take profit 3% as usual right there. And then I don't care about what the market will do. At the end of it, the market will just always go back and hit my take profit. These are just trades basically. If you watch my previous video, I've been, you know, showing you guys how I did take the trades, how they played out, you know, just simple. So I hope you guys learned about trends and how trend lines are very powerful. Now let me just tell you one thing. If you see the market is moving sideways, avoid. If you see price doing this, avoid, right? Only look for clear market trends, and then everything is going to work out, right? So let me know in the comment section if you so if this trend line thing is powerful and if you guys can test it out. But then remember, before you go into the live market, try to, you know, back test. Now this is just same GBP CHF. You see, I'm waiting for a third touch, first touch, second touch right there, and I'm waiting for a third touch right there, and see how price is going to react around that level. Then once I get my entry, I'm going to take my entry, and you see, if you guys can see, basically my target is usually 3%, right? And then if price doesn't react to this, I'm not going to do a thing, just wait, right? So let me know if you learn something and if you're going to test this, right? And if you do test, come back and comment and let me know how your back testing went, right? So adios amigos.